have a baby cat right here. There she is. Being super itchy, apparently. I have very short nails. Both of my middle nails ripped quite low while I was at my in-laws' house on Friday, and I was not able to patch them before they ripped in a weird and jagged way that I was not able to save. So, everybody's short to match. Very short. And I do have a little bit of peeling on my thumb and on a couple of the other nails from when I peeled off my polish a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was more like a month ago, but it hasn't grown out yet because nails take a while to grow, and, you know, I just gotta deal with it in the meanwhile. I have some nail foils that we're gonna be doing today. I'm just wiping my nails down with acetone while we get things going. I got nail. Ooh, it's Praise. Hello. Thank you for the subscription. I have nail glue, or I got not nail glue, but foil glue. And I also have a black foil stamping polish. And I have four foils to try. No, 5 foils to try, I think. Some of them are magic foils that work with the stamping foil polish and the glue, and some of them only work with the glue. So the 3 that are multifacetedly useful are the ones that say magic foil. So the silver one I can do with either the glue or the polish. The gold and the, well, I guess this one is the gold, and the antique gold. And then easy transfer foil only works with the foil glue, and I got a copper and a rose gold. So I'm planning on doing some stamping, which means that we're not using these. I kind of want to test with these though before we get into the actual design, just so I see how they work and stuff. And then we're going to be doing a stamping design with 1 or 2 or 3 possibly of these. The stamping plate situation, I'm thinking probably that we're either going to do this design going vertically down my nail. Let me wipe that down a little bit so you can see the pattern a little bit better. Normally I have to go this way with it because my nails are longer, but they're short enough right now, even the thumb, that I can go the other direction and have it be vertical down the length of the nail. Or these little leaves. I kind of like, they're both kind of the wiggly vibe that I'm feeling in the mood for, but this one's more leafy and this one's more just lines. So I haven't decided yet fully which one I want to do. We might test them both. But before we do any of that, I want to do a little bit of regular foil sort of test to see how they transfer, and if there's a difference between the magic foil or the regular foil with the regular foil glue. We're going to do one nail without any undercolor, and we're going to do one nail with an undercolor. The undercolor that I'm going to use is this Broadway varnish. It's the One Coat Disrobed that I use when I file my nails actually a lot because it's super opaque, but it also doesn't stain my cuticles when I take it off like a lot of One Coat blacks and things will. Let's do one on my thumb. It's also not super thick like a lot of One Coat polishes tend to try to be. And it's dark, but it's not too dark. How are you doing, Praise? Is your laryngitis doing better? Are you feeling better? We're just testing the nail glue, so I'm not wearing the face coat or anything right now. Buffering?
Hmm?
Praise said I'm buffering. My stuff all looks good on my end. I don't have any dropped frames or any other issues, it looks like, so. We got nubs. I'm going to let that dry. One of the reasons I also picked it for our testing is because it dries really fast. So, we're going to let that dry for a minute. And we're going to do the non-base color testing on this hand. So we can just apply the foil glue on there right now. I want to do some where it's like all the way across the nail. And then I want to do some where it's like a little design with the glue on the nail. So I know with foil glue you have to let it dry before you can apply the foil. I just want to see if the base color changes the color of the foil significantly or not. I gouged this nail somehow too. There's like a little ding scratch sort of a situation happening right toward the cuticle on this nail. I don't know what happened. Right along there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Is it still buffering, Praise? The baby cat's trying to get on James's desk. She's a bad girl. Okay, so the thumb looks dry. Ooh, that's very sticky. I probably should have opened my packages before I put on the glue. Okay, so this gold, this nail polish is dry enough. I'm not going to ruin it by getting in here. That's good. Okay, so this gold, it's got a sticker on it. Why does it have a sticker on it? Help! There's a sticker keeping it together, and I don't want to rip it. Let's see if I can get the edge of the sticker up onto the edge of the packaging. There we go. Rolling it down. Okay. Ooh, these are so thin. Okay. Yeah, that's ripping. Trying to remove the sticker, and I lost just a little bit of the foil on there. Oh well. Too bad, so sad. And oh, I was just saying, is it still buffering? So if it's not still buffering, then we should be okay. So let me get my little scissors. We're gonna cut a little section right here. And we're gonna put the rest of this stuff out of the way. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna stick it on here and see what we get. I got some wrinkles, obviously, because my nail is curved and I don't know what I'm doing. Does this have a backing? Because it's the magic foil, it doesn't have like the same kind of stiff plastic backing that a lot of nail foils seem to have. Nope, that's not doing anything. Am I on the wrong side? I think I might be on the plastic side. I think I suck. Let's turn it over and try the other side. Like this? Yeah, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I got something out of that. Okay, so let's try a different nail on a clean section. I stuck it down too soon. See, I didn't get full adhesion there. Okay, I'll have to check it out. You said it's on Hulu, right? Okay, let's try this one and see if we can get a little bit better placement. I can't really see anything through the foil. I don't think having a base color under the foil would change the look of the foil, aside from preventing the little gaps from showing through. I'm going to save this to try stamping. Let's try a non-magic foil variety. The easy transfer kind. We'll do some of this rose gold. Easy transfer, yes, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of like Fargo, right? They had a movie named Fargo, and then there was a show named Fargo, and they were by the same writer, but the story's not the same. I don't think. Okay, I didn't take any foil with me that time. That's good. Let's trim off a little piece. Boop. So this is the easy transfer foil, not the magic foil. Looks like it doesn't transfer quite as easily as the other kind. It is filling in as I go back over those areas to kind of fill in the gap. Vampire humor? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's see if I can get a better adhesion on this nail. That's a little bit more mirrored because I didn't lose as many pieces. Kind of, except it's not heat transferred, it's just rub. So that worked fine. We're not attempting a full nail sort of a coverage. We're just going to be doing the stamping design with the foil, and then the rest will be, you know, the base color eventually, whichever base color we pick. I'm sorry, I need to adjust which way my legs are. Ooh. This leg has been sitting cross-legged for too long, I apologize. I was evening out all of my little nubby nail shapes prior to stream. And I need to adjust. Okay. Okay. Let's try a stamped sort of a look. With heat, yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's try stamping plate. Where did I put it? Here it is. Let's try the leaves because they have slightly thinner lines, and that will give me a feel for how the stamping gel, well, it's not gel, stamping foil polish. They do also have stamping gel foil polish, but I'm allergic to gel, so we're not doing that. Also, I have too many swatch sticks up here. Do you see this giant pile of swatch sticks that needs to be organized? And that's why I'm not doing my stamping on my desk, and I'm instead doing it on my lap. So let's bring the focus down here. Whee! Okay, we got our scraper right there, ready to go. I'm gonna turn it this way. This is black. The foil polish. I don't have my stamper out. Here it is. It's a good thing it's within reach. Okay. That didn't pick up the design super cleanly. There's a couple of bubbles. Probably because I didn't stamp it right away. But we will see how it looks. Transferred really cleanly. Let me bring the focus up here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Do you see how it doesn't have all of the spaces filled in? Actually, let's keep the focus up here because I'm about to transfer the foil onto it. It's dry enough, and we gotta try the magic foil, not the easy transfer foil. So we're gonna use the gold. We're gonna line it up and push all the way across. And look at that. Now we have little gold leaves instead of little black leaves. It actually filled in more with the foil than, like, this one is still missing its center on the side there. But these ones here in the middle that were missing their centers have foil on them now. So we need to decide what base color we're using. And then we need to decide what foil color we're using, whether we want to use this gold or the antique gold or the silver. I kind of want to go for the antique gold or the silver personally right now today. That's the mood I'm in. I might want to use this base color, but I also might want to do something a little darker for more contrast. They're the same brand, but the formulation of the foil is different. This one is called Magic Foil, and it's intended to be used with the stamping foil polish. And the Easy Transfer Foil is only intended to be used with stamping gels. Not stamping gels, but gel foil adhesive, I think it is, or foil glue. I'm using the wrong terminology, I apologize. So let's clean off the stamping plate. I might just try painting this on my nail and see if I get better transfer just as a whole nail with this too, just for kicks before I take off the other. We're gonna let, sorry, that black dry. And then we're gonna try to put some of the transfer foil onto it. I need to get some tape out so I can get rid of this.
True.
Without putting acetone on my stamper, because it's a clear stamper and that will ruin it. I'm looking for the start of my roll. Where is it? Here it is. I felt it with my thumb. That was slightly longer than I needed to be, but that's okay. I just stuck my tape right here onto the front of my little tray. Okay, is this dry? Not quite. Let's remove the polish from these nails. You see that? It came off cleanly without any residue, even though it's a one-coat polish. It's pretty great. That's why I want to try the one-coat black from Holo Taco, because Colette says that it doesn't get in your cuticles like a lot of super opaque dark colors do. Like Midnight Mischief from Painted Polish is an excellent one-coat black, but it's a pain in the butt to clean up, especially if you have jaggedness on any of the skin around your nail. It's a nightmare. I don't think I've streamed for a month. My schedule's just been really crazy and not normal. The flow of things has been kind of weird. But here we are today, so no worries, no complaints. We do what we can. We fit in what we can. I'm gonna go over the nails that had the foil glue directly on them again, just to really make sure that they have absolutely no residue left before I apply polish to them. I don't know. I just really want to make sure that it's not gonna... Oh, there's a hair in my polish on this side. That's okay though. Okay, so magic foil on the foil polish. I do have a little bit of a wrinkle, but that's okay. It's hard to tell when it's ready to transfer because this doesn't lift the same way that a regular foil would, I don't think. Like, I feel like it's not as stiff looking as a lot of the foils that I've seen. Yeah, okay, so that wasn't quite dry, but it did stick. I think the foil glue dries a little faster. But you can't stamp with foil glue, so they have different purposes. Alright, let's get some more acetone. Let's clean off this polish. In order to make everything even, in my brain, like, okay, I know short nails, and what I used to do when I had short nails all the time was I would just make the white part of the nail even on every nail. But now I want the nail to be the same distance from the tip of my finger. So this nail has less of a free edge in order to match the length from the tip, so that as they're growing out, they will end up being equivalently lengthed past the tip of my finger as they grow. I think I said that already, but you know. We could do different colors across the nails. We could do gold, silver, antique, pardon me, gold, antique, gold, silver, or silver, antique, gold, gold, and do like a gradient sort of a situation. Why are these trying to stick together? Okay. Here's the regular gold, here's the antique gold, here's the silver, right? Or we could all do just one color. Yes. And the ones that grow faster are already slightly closer to the tip of my finger, so I am going to have to file them more as they grow out. But I wanted to start relatively even. Okay, what base color should we do? We could do that super dark green that looks almost brown. It's called the Bus Stop. That's a Virago varnish polish as well. We could do black. We could do the dark gray that's almost black that I have. We could do a dark purple, which is outside of my comfort zone. We could do dark blue. We could do a dark red. We could... dark yellow isn't really a thing. Oh, man. Let's see what I have dark navy blue-wise. Let me get my swatch sticks. Those are teals. Those ones have things in them. I don't have... Here we go. This Booties on Broadway sort of dark navy color from Essie is relatively dark. That could look cool. I think dark colors look pretty good on short nails, on average. Let's go grab that. I'm going to scoot the camera. And I'm going to grab the polish from up here, so pardon me. I gotta grab, so standing up. Here it is. Dark navy, sort of a blue. Let's do one more clean off with acetone. Really make sure everything is nice and clean. And then we can put base coat on and base color on, and then we can do the stamping, and then we can do the foil, and then we can do the top coat, and then we can be done. Okay. I'm really hoping that's not damage coming from the nail bed and that it's just something that gouged my nail. It doesn't look like it's coming from the nail bed necessarily, but that makes me a little concerned. Like, if it was, I wouldn't know what in the world had caused the damage to the nail bed to make it do that in the first place. Alright, let's get our base coat on. Is that a good focus height? Get rid of the fuzzies. I think that's slightly fuzzy. Visually, I think I need to be slightly closer. You can see there the peeling that I caused on the side of the ring nail there. It's harder to see once the base coat's on, and that's okay. But every time I peel my nail polish off, I tell myself I am never going to do that again. And then I don't for a long, long time. And then like a year later or a year and a half later or whatever, then I do, because something happened to one of my nails when I was not in an area where I had nail polish remover, and it really bothers me that only one of my nails has no polish on it, and I feel like I have to make the rest of them match, and so I pick at it. Even though I know that I don't have to pick at it, I could just wait until I get home. Stupid freaking brain. I don't think I'm on camera. I apologize. Let's fix that. I'm going to push back the cuticle on my middle nail before I apply my base coat to get it nice and evenly round, because it doesn't want to be nice and evenly round. It wants to be a butt and try to be V-shaped. I think I've explained this many times. This pinky's actually behaving pretty well lately. It's being a little rounder, which is, you know, I'm grateful for that. Thank you, pinky. And or thank you, God, for letting the pinky be that way currently.
Grapple thing?
Yeah. Okay. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Make sure it's nice and round.
Alright.
Right before I was streaming, when I was filing my nails and shaping everything up and making them even and stuff, I was watching the Property Brothers buying and selling. And at the end of every episode, they tell the family, come back tomorrow, we have a surprise for you. And the surprise is that they finished the house on the day that they said that they would finish the house. How is that a surprise? It's not a surprise. It's just showing them the finished product. It's not a surprise. It really bothers me that they call it a surprise. Okay. Booties on Broadway. This could be one coat, could be two coats. We'll have to see. My swatch stick says 1/2. I just hit my cuticle. Dang it. That's looking like one coat though. Look at that. One coat. I might want to just start over on this nail though, because that little bit there, getting the blue out of the cuticle is going to be a pain in the butt. And I think I'd rather just remove everything and repaint the base coat. And just paint the color on this thumb last, rather than having to work with my little brush to get that out. I had slightly too much polish on the brush when I started, and I can blame no one for that but me. Did you get your SoCal Moot ticket, Praise? SoCal Moot is a get-together for Tolkien people who like the work of J.R.R. Tolkien. Organized by Signum University, which is Corey Olson is the Tolkien professor. He's a guy, he does like a podcast and like several different classes on different types of literature, including a lot of Tolkien stuff. And they do Myth Moot once a year as a like larger sort of a gathering. Ugh, I just got fuzzies in there. I have to repaint it. But then they do smaller regional sorts of events throughout the year. And they're doing one in SoCal, which is where we live. It's not super close to where we live. We're going to have to drive a couple of hours to get there. But, you know, it's doable. So Praise and I are going to go. Good. That's what I just asked you. I asked if you had bought it. And then I was clarifying for all of the other people who might see this who don't know what SoCal Moot is. The Exploring the Lord of the Rings, I caught up and Praise caught up. And last year when they had it in Southern California, I was not aware of its existence. So this is the first year that I will be going, and I'm excited about it. I think it'll be cool. It's at the Netflix headquarters in LA. So that will be kind of neat too, I think. Okay, so let's go back to this. Don't get too much polish on the brush. I think I would rather have not quite enough polish on the brush and have to go in for a second coat than bang into my cuticle and have to do a lot of cleanup, because this dark color really wants to be everywhere. I'm not going to cap the tip because my nails are so short they're not going to hit the edge of them against things, really, and I don't want to get the blue all over my skin. That cuticle shape needs some work. Didn't get close enough. Ah, what happened? I banged my finger into the end here, I think. You know what, we're just going to go back and do a second coat on that nail. Maybe on all the nails. We will see. The rounder Essie brush does make it easier to get up next to the cuticle without having to do as much finagling. Oh no, I forgot to change my camera angle. Sorry. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do 2 coats because then I don't have to worry about it. I can adjust my cuticle shaping a little bit as I go then too. Hey Gators! Have a good night. Thank you for lurking and hanging out as much as you can. If you don't pop in again before you go to sleep, have a good night. Sleep tight. I wish you comfortable rest. I did hit my cuticle. You see that on the pinky on the side there? Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. But that's okay. Let's go in with a little brush really quickly before it dries. And get off. I'll have to go back in with that later. Praise, do you remember what you got on the Myers-Briggs thing? I found a YouTube channel. There's a guy, he does like skits of like the different personalities, the different Myers-Briggs personalities in different social situations. And they're pretty funny. I know I said I'm not wrapping the tip, but that tip felt like it needed to be wrapped. Ah. INFJ. Yeah, okay. I am an INTJ. I knew that it was only 1 letter different from you. And my J is not as strongly decided as the other elements. So some of the INTP things seem like relatable to me too. And some of the INFJ stuff too, but not as much. His name is Frank James, I think, the channel I'm talking about. INFJ is supposed to be one of the rarest personality types according to that whole system. And I think female INFJ is even less common. My results though, like, I can see the work of the Holy Spirit acting in my life, because if I answer based on the way I actually behave, as like, I get different results than when I answer based on what my selfish instincts would be. So my selfish instincts are INTJ. So I count that because that's the way that I would be if I weren't working on making myself better. uh, it's kind of funny. Okay. I like that this blue is dark, but it still is readable as blue. Like, so dark that it looks black is not necessarily my favorite thing. No, look at that, I just ruined it. It's a good thing I'm doing a second coat, eh? Take some of the stress off. There. There's a little piece of dead skin there. Can you see that? Right there. There we go. I am going to try to smooth this a little bit before the second coat. I don't know if that helped or not. And we still have to go back and do the other thumb.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. I hate his sounds.
Bah! Friggin' unskilled left hand.
Yeah, that's my least favorite part.
It tries its best, but really sometimes it needs help. I don't trust my painting with my left hand enough to try to just erase that and do it again. And say I'll do better the second time, because I don't think I will. Like I did on this thumb. Okay. These thumbs are the ones that are going to have tip wear, if any of them are, because they are slightly closer to the ends of the fingers than anybody else. I just could not make myself go any shorter on the thumb, because they were already really short. Okay. So let's do a little bit of adjustment here. We are going to do some cleanup at the end with the brush. We're just going to be very careful. Okay. Get up there. Jeez. There's this one little tiny corner little bit. There we go. That would not take polish. It's like the corner of the brush. The bristles weren't like there was one longer bristle and the ones next to it were slightly too short. Do you see that? Where it's like slightly dinged in there. Once I do clean up, it'll be fine because it's close enough. But in that moment, like before I went back in, it wasn't quite. There's a little bit of dry skin right there. I want to push it out of the way so that I can get my polish all the way up to the edge. Dang it, I touched my skin. Grrr. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I'm gonna pull this back a little until the polish starts to set so it doesn't spread further. Do you see that right there? How it's like in the cuticle a little bit. That's my least favorite thing. Hello, Pokemon Ranger Brooke. How are you this evening? I'm gonna see if I can get some of that out without smearing it too much. Oh, I think it's better to wait until it's dry. Darn it. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, let's go over here and do the other hand. Yeah, there's the exact same ones sold at Walmart, I think under Coco Nana Coco? No, that's not right. That's a different brand. Coco something else. If you liked the design of some of them, but you don't want to support the MLM concept, you can totally get the same product without. Jeez, that cuticle's a disaster. That's okay. We will be okay. Grump, grump, grump. There we go. That's a little bit smoother. Well, of course, that's how they're going to treat them. They don't care about the people that are working for them. People are not altruistic by nature. I have 2 Mary Kay polishes in my collection, but that's because my grandma did Mary Kay and she gave them to me for Christmas. So, you know, I'm not gonna throw it away. It was free. One of them is like a sort of a gunmetal-y silver color, and one of them is like a metallic purple. To be honest, the metallic purple I was unlikely to purchase on my own, so it's kind of unique in my collection. Yeah, I'm trying stamped gel polish, not gel. Why do I keep saying that? Foil polish. Moyra has this polish that you can use to stamp a design, and then nail foils will adhere to it. And that's what we're going to be doing today after my base color is all set. If I can ever get this on there. In a way that I'm satisfied with. Get on there, paint. And by paint, I mean nail polish. There we go. Yeah, stamping is fun. It's a lot easier with a clear stamper than with an opaque stamper head, because you can see what you're doing underneath. Oh, my big cat's here. She's smelling the foils. Look, there she is. Pretty big cat. Right, you guys get big cat cam. And we're going to do the second coat on this thumb. We're going to wait and do all of the cleanup at the end. So that we only have to do cleanup once, because I'm not putting any barrier on my skin before I stamp. I'm just not in the mood for that. I'm not into makeup, personally. I use concealer at work if I have a super red spot or something like that, but that's it. I don't do any eye stuff or mascara or blush or foundation or anything. I think I bought one foundation once to try it, and I absolutely hated it and didn't want to do anything else ever again. There's all kinds of temperature changing polishes. Thermal polishes, I have quite a few that I really enjoy. There's one called California Autumn Sunset from Necessary Evil Polish that I really like. It's like a mustardy color that goes toward a red color. It's got like shimmers and flakes and stuff in it. And I also have one that I really like from Fancy Gloss called Mamoncello. That's like a peachy color to like an olive green. Sort of a temperature changing thermal polish. Thermal polish is fun. Okay, so let's get our little stamping plate situation over here. And we are going to be using this little leaf design. Let me change the focus on my camera so you can see. I'm going to be putting it on my nail around there, but I am going to zoom you in a little bit. There. And let's get the focus there. Okay, so I got my clear stamper. It's ready and waiting. I've got my Moyra black. It says shake well before use. I already did that. Foil polish for stamping. And we're going to make sure that my scraper is clean and ready to use. And we're going to put this on here. Because this is for foils, I'm actually going to cover the entire design with the polish. I don't normally do that for stamping. I normally let the scraping fill it in. But I really want to make sure with this that everything is getting filled in, and then I'm going to stamp. I want the leaves to be going toward the tip of my nail.
It's gonna get stuck.
So that's what I'm going to do. All right. And I'm going to let that dry. So I'm going to continue stamping across my other nails before we go back and add the foil. You can't really see it right now because it's black on dark blue. But once the foil gets on there, then it will be metallic on dark blue, and that will look cool. Oh, I didn't decide which foil we're using. Hang on. Let's decide that, shall we? We got the antique gold one. I like this, I think. Are you talking about the Maniology stamping kit? Maniology is a pretty good brand. They used to be called Bundle Monster. I have quite a few of their stamping plates. Stamper-wise, I actually have never tried the Maniology stamper. My favorite stamper is from What's Up Nails. This one that I'm using here. The Jumbo Clear stamper has the same stamping head material as this. This one is the Jumbo one with magnification. I think it picks up the best out of all the ones that I've tried. I tried the I want to say Pusheen, that's not right. Pueen one. And I tried, before I knew that Bundle Monster stole designs from a friend to put on one of their stamping plates without asking for permission, I had tried some from them. And I had also tried some from a couple of other like random Amazon non-branded sort of situations. Let's start with that. Okay. Again, we want the leaves to be going toward the tip of the nail. Picking a different part of the image to stamp. This one was all the way at the bottom. I want this one to be slightly different design of the leaves. I don't want them to all be exactly the same, so I'm changing the orientation. Not the orientation because I'm not turning it, but the height up and down of where I am on the nail. Oh, Simply Nailogical. She seems like a fun person. I wish she wouldn't swear quite so much because that's just not my jam. But I think that she's fine with her nail art stuff, and some of the other stuff that she does is pretty funny. I haven't tried Holo Taco, but I've heard good things about it from friends that have tried it. I'm one of the moderators on the Reddit Lacaristas subreddit, and we have seen a lot of people posting about her holos and stuff on there, and most of them seem pretty happy with it. There are some people who said that the formula is a little bit thicker than they prefer, but I think that's a preference thing more than anything. You know, some people like slightly thinner polish application, some people like slightly thicker polish application, and I'd rather have it be slightly thick to start with, because then you can thin it, as opposed to being slightly too thin and then not being able to do jack all about it.
What up? Yeah.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get to hang out some more on other days and talk about nail polish stuff. Oh, I'm not on camera. Good job, Gloria. Okay, so we got the 4 on these nails. I'm going to try and do the foil on here, and then we'll switch over and do the other hand. This is the magic foil from Moyra that is designed to be used with this stamping foil polish. So I'm just going to press it. I was saying earlier before you joined that I really want to try the One Coat Black because my friends that have tried it. Oh no, I think my base polish was too wet and I got foil stuck on the regular polish as well. Well, that's not what I was looking for. We, I think, are going to have to try to do that nail again. We're just gonna have to start over there. Hype, yeah. Fail. Oh, man. That's okay. This is my first time doing this. I've never used nail foils before, and I've never used foil stamping polish before. And apparently, this magic foil wants to stick to everything. So I just have to be more patient, right? That's the lesson we're learning here, is that we need to be more patient and wait for everything to be fully dry. Do you see the blue sticking around the edges there? That's why I was really hoping for less cleanup. But that's okay. Let's continue stamping on this hand while we wait for the base coat to dry there. Ah, jeez. I'm wondering if it would stick to a quick dry top coat, but too late. Oh no, that's Colette, my friend Colette. You know, she swears a lot too, so whatever. It doesn't stop me from liking her stuff or being her friend. But she her live streams on here on Twitch are really entertaining, and sometimes they go really well and sometimes they don't. And then obviously she uploads her stuff. Her channel is My Simple Little Pleasures on YouTube. She has been doing for about 10 years, I think, because she just had her anniversary. Her YouTube anniversary / etc. recently. But yeah, definitely there are fails. But she's been uploading the VODs of her stuff onto her YouTube channel since she started doing streams about 1.5 years ago. So if you want to watch those after you watch the regular, like, edited tutorial, you can. It's kind of a fun juxtaposition. I don't do edited tutorials. I just do this because I'm doing my nails for myself, and my friends were like, can we watch you do your nails? You should start streaming. And I was like, okay. So I do. And Praise, actually, who's in chat right now, she doesn't do nails but does do art stuff, and she streamed and was like, you should stream. It was a compounded effort on the part of multiple people to convince me to do this. I'm almost about 1 year into streaming, but the past several months have not been as consistent, unfortunately. We've been doing a lot of busyness. There's family health stuff that adds busyness, and also I recently got promoted at work, which has added some busyness. So I do what I can. I realize I'm not showing you the scraping and stuff right now. I hope that's okay. Would you like to see that part? It's down here in my lap. But the stamping part is the part that's more interesting, to be honest. Except you can't really see it because of the colors that I'm using. So if you want me to switch down to the scraper part, feel free to tell me, and I will switch it. Oh, big cat left. Sad. I'm all by myself. Well, no, not really, because my husband is right there, and my other cat is sitting on his chair. But the big cat's gone. You can almost see the difference there. Kind of not really. The big cat's name is actually Ember because she is a tortoiseshell. She's got orange and black and a little bit of white on her tummy and on her feet. And then Char is a tuxedo cat. She's the other one that's hanging out over there on James's chair. She is often called the baby cat or the little cat, and Ember is often called big cat. Because Ember is 12 pounds. All muscle, lean, mean fighting machine. And Char is 9 pounds, and she's a little derp. So, hence they get nicknamed. Alright. I didn't stamp my index nail on this hand yet. Why did I skip that one? That's really weird. Apparently, my brain was not in the right place when I got there in my little routine. I was looking for a Q-tip. I found one. I had some here on my tray, and then I used all those up, and I had to get one from my little pile up here on my desk. I don't want to have mine that long. This is actually the shortest I've had them for quite a while. If you look on my Instagram, it's Musigal Glow. So same Musigal as here, and then GLO. I can link you if you want it, but you'll see how long my nails normally are. I had 2 nails break yesterday when I was at my in-laws' house, both of my middle nails, and I just filed everything down to match. Normally they're just a little bit past fingertip length, but they're not as long as Christine's, and I have them in a rounded sort of an oval shape, which is less likely to hit things and less likely to get in the way, at least in my personal experience. There we go. What, even if you're only seeing them for like the half an hour that they're not painted? That's kind of funny. Okay. I should have painted that blue quite a while ago so that the first coat could dry. I wasn't in my workflow the way that I should have been. That's okay. Are you packing up your monitor, my dude? James got a monitor that he was testing out from work, and he is just, it was just testing, so he's packing it back up. The scrape that I just did was not clean enough. It had some fuzzies in it from my cotton ball, so I am redoing it. The pickup was not as clean as I wanted it to be. Okay, let's do a little bit of cleanup around the edges on these ones, like the polish that's on the skin and stuff. And then we'll be able to go in with the second coat of blue and etc. for the index nail. I'm just going to go around with a Q-tip and some acetone, get the main bulk that's on the finger that's not immediately next to the nail. And then I'll go in with my little, I use an e.l.f. concealer brush to get in up close because it's cheap and I like the rounded shape of it. I've done several water marbles. Colette does water marbles pretty regularly. I did a water marble for Christmas with some like garlandy effect, swoopy sort of shapes. I did turkey feather water marble last year and a poinsettia water marble. I've had pretty good success with them, but I don't do them like all the time. Maybe 3 times a year. What? Oh, did I mess that up? No, okay. Whew. I thought for a second that I had gone right across the whole nail with my Q-tip, but I didn't. Let me Praise, do you have the ability to get a link to my Instagram? I think there's one on the information on my page as well. There's a link there if you want to go check out the ones I've already done. There are some water marbles on that page. I think my favorite water marble that I've ever done was the poinsettia water marble that I did last year for Christmas. That one came out really good. I do a lot of freehand stuff actually, just because it's fun. And I do a lot of leaves and floral sorts of designs. Okay. Let's add the second coat of blue on this index nail. And I'm going to put this up here and stretch my leg for a minute. I like sitting cross-legged. It's my preferred way to sit. But if I am in the chair for too long without being able to move this leg, I start to get a little uncomfy. So I'm going to stretch it. You can see the tape here starting to droop a little bit because I was pulling on it when I pushed the stamper to get the stuff off. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay. So, let's go in with my little cleanup brush. This is the cleanup brush I was talking to you about, the e.l.f. concealer brush. I'm just dipping it in a little bit of acetone, and we're going to go right around the edge of the nail. And we're going to wipe it off on a paper towel so that it doesn't collect the polish and keep it in the bristles while we are going into a new area of cleanup. We want it to be removing, not smearing. And this dark blue, I think I will have to scrub my hands pretty well once I'm done to get the last bits off of my skin after I top coat and after I cut stream, because I think some of this, like this stuff here that's in my dry cuticle, you can't really see that super well on camera, but I'm actually allergic to gel. I tried gel when I first was getting into nail polish because I liked the longevity of the wear time, and I don't think I was careful enough with my removal of the tacky layer. When I would finish curing the gel polish and I wiped off the tacky layer, I would just take the cotton swab and do this all the way around. And that sticky layer is actually uncured gel, and when you're removing it from your nail, if it gets all over your skin, that's like having the uncured gel touch your skin. And overexposure to uncured gel can cause you to develop an allergic reaction, contact dermatitis, to it. And so after I had been doing that for about a year, I started to get little blisters all around my fingers, and I had to stop using gel. My hand skin was in a horrible state. All of the skin around my nails was very peely and nasty and gross, and it took a while for it to heal, and not going back. After it healed, I did do one test again with a gel polish to make sure that that's what it was, and I immediately started to get the little blisters and itchiness and all of that again. So, nope, not doing gel. So I do regular polish. There are a lot of applications that gel has that is really hard to do with regular polish, though. Like some of the blooming effects that some of the gels have, or like spider gel to get those really cool linear designs. They also, like the bubble nail look is a lot easier to do with gel, because you can cure the top coat, the gel top coat, or the gel polish with the bubbles on it and keep the texture more crisp than you can with regular polish. I figured out a way to get it to look like it had that bubbled texture. When I did the bubbliness, and then I did a layer of pigment over the top so that I was just barely skimming the tops of the ridges, so that when I top coated, everything did flatten out and smooth out, but I was able to keep the bubbly look because that's where the pigment was only on the top of the ridges and not anywhere else. I have a good base coat and top coat, and my regular polish can last a week as well. And to be honest, my nails grow fast enough that I want to change them by the end of a week. There's too much of a gap at my cuticle. I don't like the way that that looks. So I wouldn't probably go back to gel even if I wasn't allergic to it, because the removal process is a lot more difficult, and I can get the same. I would want to take it off at the end of a week anyway, and I can get regular polish to last that long. The only reason that I would want to use it would be for certain effects that are easier to do with a gel. Foils are actually easier to get a good, what's the word I'm looking for? Smooth finish, I guess, without as much wrinkling and stuff. If you put the gel in, or if you put the foil in the gel polish before you cure it, you can get complete transfer of the foil without. That cleanup wasn't too bad. The stuff that was here in this cuticle did come out pretty well. It's just this thumb over here that's giving me a little bit of a pain in the patoot. Plus, quick dry top coat, right? A lot of people are like, gel dries so fast. Well, yes, but if you use a quick dry top coat, your nails will be pretty much dry in 15 minutes anyway. So 15 minutes is longer than 1 minute. But it's not like the worst amount of dry time ever. It's not going to ruin your life waiting for 15 minutes. As opposed to the one time I painted my nails in high school, and it literally took the entire day, like more than 12 hours, for the polish to be dry enough to not dent. And I really liked the color. It was really cool because it was a sort of a multi-chrome duochrome sort of a situation where it went from like a purpley gray to like a greenish gold when you changed the angle that you were looking at it. But it was so impractical because it took forever to dry. But quick dry top coat, you know, makes all the difference there. And sticky base coat. Sticky formulas of base coat are my friend. My favorite is the Glisten Glow base coat. I used to use Orly Bonder, and then I tried the Glisten Glow one, and it was better. It just gave me better wear time. But if I use a regular base coat that isn't a sticky formula base coat, my nail polish just peels off my hand in a sheet. You know, that was even when I was already cleaning off my nail plate with acetone before applying, you know, because that removes the oils from your nail plate. Apparently my nail plates were just very oily, which is in keeping with the rest of my skin, so I'm not surprised by that fact, but it made the sticky base coat a necessity. Do you see that blue that's in the cuticle there? That's what I'm trying to get out right now. That's the kind of the part that I think I might, once I go in with my top coat, I'm gonna go around and get in there again, and I'll get all the rest out as well as I can at that point too. Having the top coat on it to re-wet it will help as well. Yeah. Again, my friend Colette, she does a lot of nail stuff, so I reference her regularly, but she did a bunch of testing with it, comparing it to the UNT peel-off base coat that she regularly uses and that Christine used to use as well, the Ready for Takeoff. And she said that they both actually peel off right about the same amount of time as her that the Holo Taco one doesn't leave a residue on her nails quite the same way. Like the UNT one, when she peeled it off, there would be sometimes a little bit of residue on her nail afterward, like that was hard to get off with acetone. It was kind of like a thin, sort of a sticky, sort of a stringy piece here and there that would be left behind. And that the Holo Taco one doesn't do that at all. Good night, Praise. Sleep tight. I hope you feel better soon. You never told me how your laryngitis is doing. I think I asked you earlier, but I think you were having internet issues at the moment. Are you feeling better? Is your rest helping? She might have already gone. Okay. Let's stamp this nail so it can start drying while I continue doing the cleanup. Yeah, it is. It really helps. It gets the edges very crisp and clean. There's other kinds of cleanup brushes too, like I know that a lot of nail art companies make them, and you can use, like, I had this random one that's kind of ovally shaped that I occasionally have used, but it's not as big and it doesn't hold as much acetone, and so you have to go back and dip more frequently. And some people like a flatter edged brush or a more angled edged brush. I personally like the curved one because I feel like it gives me more control in how much I'm taking off on the edge versus not. It really, cleanup is half the battle in getting your nails to look nice. All right, so we're gonna do the black stamping foil polish. Did you hear that noise that my baby cat just made? She's sad. What are you doing, baby cat? Are you sneezing? We're gonna do this side. So that can start to dry as well. Okay, I'm gonna close my stamper because we're done stamping. I can get it out again if we need it. I'm gonna put this over here. That's the stamping plate. I'm going to sit up so that my posture isn't ruining my life. And then we're going to come back over here and we're going to continue doing cleanup. Is the focus there good? Do I need to bring the focus up higher? It's hard to tell because the polish is so dark. I've got a little bit of fuzziness going on here. There's a little cotton ball fuzzy right there on the edge. There, we got it. My cat is an indoor cat, and there is 0 chance that she is getting poisoned by a neighbor. I think that she has allergies. That's my guess, because she will occasionally do that. Why would you do that to someone else's cat? That's just really messed up. Yeah. When my husband was growing up, one of his cats, they used to have their cats be like outdoors and indoors. They could go between the two. And one of them ended up getting killed. At one point, and then one of them never came home. He just kind of disappeared. And so they no longer allowed the other cats that they got to be outdoor cats. They had to stay indoors because they wanted to keep them safe. Oh, yeah. Yep. Getting that nice smooth line all the way around. Okay, I think that is pretty good. Let's go and do the index nail over here again. Well, sure. Yeah, my cats are not into the harness thing. Like at all. My sister is trying to do those with her cats too, and one of them is more okay with it than the other one. The other one just does the slug thing, like you say. Or she just flop and won't go anywhere. Do you see what I mean about the blue sticking in the dry skin around your nail? That part there, I had like a paper cut a couple of days ago, and it just wants to like settle into it and just be there forever. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't hurt to continue the efforts. Okay, this We're going to try another nail. Let's see how it goes. Okay, make sure we have the right foil. Where did the foil go? Where did I put it? That's not it. Where did I put it? I have no idea. I'm just going to cut it in a piece. Okay, so we're starting with the middle nail. We are going to push. That's the wrong side. I'm an idiot. It has to be foil side up. I told you, I've never done this before. Okay, let's try this again. We want the gold side to be up. Okay, so it stuck on some of the polish, but not on all of it. Let's see if I can get it to stick on this side part. I think that part might be too dry. No! So we have the opposite problem. What I need to do is wait for the base color to fully dry and then stamp and then transfer while the stamping polish is still wet, I think. So let's try a more recently stamped nail. Let's try the thumb. See if we get a better transfer. No. The answer is no. No, we didn't. Let's try this index finger again and see if that one does the everybody transfer thing again. Yeah, see, that one transferred too much. Alright, okay. We're learning. We're not succeeding yet, but we're learning. Let's see if this... If I do... this thumb... Nope, I'm not getting anything over there. Nope. Nothing. Okay. So, the stamping polish has to be wet. Base color has to be dry. Everything is dry. I don't want the black stamping polish that's already there to be there. If I start over, I have to wait for the blue to dry again, fully, before I can apply the stamping. But that's okay, though. We're going to do that. We're going to take everything off. We're going to start over. That's okay. I'm squeezing the acetone from those 3 cotton balls into 2 more cotton balls so that I have 5 cotton balls. And we're going to remove our polish. And we're going to remove by pressing and then pulling down so that we're not rubbing this dark blue into our cuticles. But we are going to take the opportunity to go around the edge as much as we can and pull everything out of the cuticles. We're also going to see if we can get away with just 1 coat of the blue so that it dries faster. Last time around, I was doing 2 coats, but I was getting pretty close on one. Let's see if we could do one. Okay. Okay. Yes. If you are on my regular page on Twitch, if you look right underneath the video, there is a little box that has some links in it, and I can type it out for you if you aren't able to find that box to click on as soon as I finish this pinky. Okay. Did you find it? Well, there it is also. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Jeez, this blue just wants to get every dang where. It's so awful. More cotton balls needed. Big jug of acetone. Lots of cotton. Okay. Ooh, today is Saturday. There's a new episode of Boku no Hero Academia. I want to watch that when I'm done with this. Making sure that I'm really getting up into the undercuticle. I know I mentioned that a minute ago, but it's still true. Considering my foil options again, I do like the color of this antique gold quite a bit, but I'm wondering if the silver might pop off of the blue a little bit more. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the antique gold, but I am curious. Okay, that's good enough. Let's get the base coat. I am using the Glisten Glow base coat, and I actually did swap out. They have a wider brush that you can get for it, and I did get one because I use this base coat all the time, and I prefer a wider brush with a rounded end. It makes it easier to get up next to my cuticle without having to do quite so much fiddling. Makes the quote-unquote 3-stroke method of polish application a lot more possible. James, would you do me a favor and get me a drink, please?
Oh, you want a drink?
Just tea is fine, or the rest of the almond milk would also be fine.
Which one do you want more?
Almond milk, because
Okay.
the cap is,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
The angle is slightly this way. I'm going to add a little more base coat right down the middle, because there was a hair there, and when I pulled the hair out, it made it not quite as smooth. Not that it's a huge deal, but I might actually just redo that nail. The middle nail. I can do better than that application, so I'm going to. There we go. Much smoother, much cleaner, much nicer. Okay. I gotta wait for this to dry for just a second. Let's close the base coat while we're at it. Thank you. Yes. This is actually from Praise. This mug. It is. I can tip it without spilling things. It's like a library card. It's cute. Okay. I think I'm gonna just put it here. Okay. Blue. Ugh, I hit my cuticle. Why did I do that? That's okay though, it's okay. I want to get just a little bit closer. There we go. I know that's not perfectly smooth, that's okay. The top coat will smooth it out, and at least the blue will be covering all of the areas of the nail that I want it to be covering. And that's okay. So we are going to let this base color 100% completely dry before we apply the stamping, so that the stamping will be still tacky, but the base will not be. Because that was our problem. The first time was that when we did it when the stamping was still tacky, then it stuck to the base color as well, and if we did it when the base color was then dry, then the stamping was too dry as well, and we didn't get any transfer. So we need the base color to be completely dry, and then the stamping color, which is actually a foil polish specifically, it's not just regular polish, to be still tacky. Okay, so let's let that dry. Like I said, we're only going to do one coat. I'm actually happy with that one coat. I didn't miss any stuff or hit a nail like I did the first time, so we should be okay. My thumb application is always the least great because the cuticle area of my thumbs don't curve as much as my other nails. So like when I'm applying the polish with a more curved brush, it's actually harder to get up to the cuticle on my thumbs because my thumbs are more straight. but that's okay. And they're 1 thumb out of 5 fingers per hand. It's only the only one that's that way, right? So the preference overall still is toward the curve. I'm trying really hard with this friggin' hand not to hit the skin so that I get all of that cleanup that we did the first time, because it was a pain in the butt. I'm actually going to go in with a little brush along the edge there rather than trying to get in with this big brush all the way up to the edge. There. That's fine. I'm pulling the cuticle up on the sides here. I think we talked about that before. About how this nail just wants to not be the right cuticle shape, probably because of my writer's callus here. Okay. I don't think I'm quite in frame, sorry. Okay, I'm quite a bit happier with this paint job. I'm doing better than I did the first time. Like, it's still not perfect, but there's way less cleanup than there was the first time around, so, you know, that's good, right? There will be a little bit on that edge, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to sit here for a minute, and we are going to let this fully dry. Fully. Which way am I going? There I am. Zippy nippy. I'm going to time it. It's 11:33. And I don't know when I started the first nail, but that's okay. Just looking at Brooke's page. She followed me on Instagram a minute ago, and I think I found her cat. The one that she was talking about a minute ago. There he is. Yuki is very cute. Okay. We're going to go until the touch test reveals no imprintation. And while we're waiting for that, we might as well go around and clean up on the edges. So let's do some of that. Thanks. All the way around. Ugh. It really wants to stay in there when it gets in there. Like I said, a lot of this is going to have to wait until after I'm done with stream to come off when I wash my hands, like the stuff in the skin. So we're just doing what we can in the meanwhile. Okay, that hand looks pretty good. Cleanup wise, anyway. Straight. Do you see my, over there? I have a gigantic orchid that my mother-in-law was given. She's on hospice care, sort of a situation right now, and she didn't think that she would be able to keep the plant alive. And my father-in-law was not confident in his abilities either, so they gave it to us to keep it going. And so far, so good. We got it in October and he's still over there living in his little corner being alright. And the cats have surprisingly not bothered it that much, which is very nice. Sorry, I don't think that was in frame. I am generally happier with my application the second time around because I was able to get the full opacity in one coat, and I'm having less cleanup to do because my left-hand paint job is less suck. So, yay. For having to start over, this is the least, like, at least it's not super frustrating the second time around so far. It's going pretty smoothly. I'm really, again, with this cuticle curvature here, I am not relying on the actual skin for my cleanup line. I'm visually creating a smooth curve. And then the cuticle can just do its own thing after that has been done. And no one will notice really because they just see the shape of the polish usually, rather than the shape of the cuticle itself. I finished my taxes already. Got my W-2 yesterday and just did it when we got home from James's parents' house. Which is nice to have it be done. Let's try and see if we can get one last little bit out of here. There's a little fuzzy. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so let's see how the press test is looking now. Still don't quite trust it. It's been 10 minutes. Let's do the stamping first on one hand, one entire hand. Then we'll do the foil transfer. So that will give it a little bit more time to dry while we're doing the stamping. Okay, so we need clean off the stamper, scraper situation here. The stamping plate is already clean. I think I am. Gonna move my cup. I can try to give you guys an angle of the stamping plate this time. I'm gonna make sure that this is fully clean. And I do want to trim some more of this off of the roll before I start. So let's do some of that. Just so that the pieces are a little more manageable. That piece is no good. Okay, so here is the polish. Okay, we're gonna do one nail at a time like that. Polish on, scrape, pick up, stamp, clean up, and then next nail. Middle fingers next. I'm just sticking it to the tape after I apply it to clear off the stamping head. Make sure that the stamping plate is dry and not covered in acetone before you apply your polish. Acetone evaporates pretty quickly, so blowing on it helps usually. Okay. Wiping off the scraper before you scrape so that it doesn't have any old polish on it helps you to get a clean scraped line. If there's like jaggedy polish blops along the edge, it's not gonna scrape everything evenly. There was a little piece of something stuck on there. But it didn't mess me up. I was still able to get a good pickup. The reason that I dab my brush on the palm of my hand like that is because I don't want a whole ton of acetone on the brush when I'm going around the cuticle. I don't want to flood the whole curve, little valley there, because that could smear things around too much. Okay, so it has been 8 more minutes since we did the stamp on this thumb. I think it's dry enough. We're gonna try it. Yay! No excess on not the stamping polish part, and pretty much the entire stamped design was covered with the gold. So I think we are doing pretty good. Let me change the focus so you can see it. There we go. The angle makes it kind of hard to see the design. I can see the flowers really well. I mean, not the flowers, the leaves. Hopefully I can get pictures that show them better there. That's a little bit more visually descriptive. Let's bring the focus back down here, and we'll do the next. Or I guess not quite all the way down there. I went too far. Because we're doing foils right now. We want it to be a little closer. Okay, so the next nail. Okay, so we got a wrinkle, and that stopped some of the gold over here from transferring. But it got most of it. I'm not going to be mad at that. I'm okay with that. And this one. Really stretching the foil across the nail. That one has a little bit that tried to go over the edge there. Oh. I'm not sure what, there's a little white piece stuck on my finger. I don't think that's from the foil, I think that's just something else that got stuck on my polish, possibly. So I'm gonna have to go back in with a little bit of blue right there. That one looks pretty good. And the pinky. Oh no, no. Oh no, I think that white stuff might be from the foil. If the foil gets brushed away, I think this backing, the white backing bit shows. Give me a second. Let's get some dry cotton balls that don't have anything on them. We're going to do a little bit of this to see if we can get the excess foil bits off. Because there are some pieces, can you see here around the pinky where there's like extra little flecks that aren't where they belong? I have one of those on my middle finger too. There's a little bit of too much gold there in the middle, but that's okay. I think I am going to go over some of this on the pinky with the that's gone too far over where the blue should be. So I'm going to get a little bit of blue on my little brush. Actually, I'm going to try the new brush that I got for Christmas. This is one of the Live Love Polish nail art brushes, and it's very small and very thin. I'm going to see if I can clean up this line a little bit too. And that little bit of whiteness. That's okay. I'm okay with that for my first attempt at this. Okay, so now we need to stamp the second hand. My leg needs to stretch, so I know I said this earlier, but it needs to happen again. So I'm going to put these up here. Get my stamper out of the way. The density of leaves on the different parts of the image are not the same. I'm looking here at the design. The one on my ring finger that I did higher toward the tip of the stamping plate image doesn't have as many of the actual leaves on it. It has more stems, which is interesting. I'm going to have to be intentional about making that consistent on my other hand so that it looks like it's accenting. Okay. I'm going to keep my leg out this way, but we're going to continue our stampings. Let's bring this back down here. Make sure I clean off my brush. Okay. Scrapers clean, stampers ready. Stamping polish is ready. Here we go. The amount of time is actually the same if we clean up all of the nails at the end before we do the foil, between doing it on each finger. So you know what, I'm just going to do it all together at the end. I know that the polish on the scraper right now is still wet because I just did it, so I'm actually not going to clean it off. I'm just going to go again because I think it'll be okay. Okay, so ring nail, we're going to do that thing that I was talking about a minute ago where we choose the part of the image that's closer to this side to stamp so that it gets more of the leafy bits, just like the other hand. And then the pinky. Okay. Let's put that over there. Let's put that over here. Can sit back up again. Let's go around. You see how much further? Oh, no, you can't. I'm sorry. Do you see how much further down this one was? Oh, my camera skills are not super great today. I apologize. Okay. Clean up brush. I was able to use one little piece for my entire hand on the other hand. So I think I'll be able to do that on this hand as well. Sorry, I'm out of frame again. Okay. Alright. I'm not going to close that yet, but I will close this. I need to go back over that little white spot. Okay, foil. Here it is. So we're going to go on the thumb. That's the wrong side. I am so stupid. Why do I do that? It's like I think I have to stick the gold onto the nail rather than that the gold is going to stay showing on the nail. I think is why I do that. Ooh, I got a pretty big wrinkle through the middle of that. Will it stick again? Kind of, sort of, not really. It's okay though. It's not super noticeable. I got enough on that big leaf that I was noticing to be okay with it. Okay, here's the next one. Index nail. I'm pretty pleased with that. There's a little bit over here that missed. That's okay. And some wrinkles again. But it doesn't take away from the overall effect. I think wrinkles would be less likely on less curved nails, but the C curve makes them more apparent. Can you note? Oh, here, let me change the focus a little bit far down again. Sorry. On these two nails, this is one that I rubbed, and this is one I haven't rubbed with that cotton ball. This one has a little bit more. This one has a little bit more of a brushed metal sort of a finish, and the one that I rubbed doesn't. It's a little bit more chromy, but once I add top coat, they're both going to look slightly less chromy anyway, so I don't think it really matters. Okay, that one again has a couple of wrinkles, but nothing super awful. Okay, let's do the thing with the cotton ball. Just to make sure that we don't have any excess stuff stuck on the nail. And to make it consistent with the first hand. I don't think I have any weird white stuff that needs to be gone over on this hand, which is good. Yeah. I do have one little spot here that needs to be gone over one more time, though. Right here. Okay. Cap on brush. Let's do top coat. And then we will be done with our foily nail nubs. There. Ooh, there. You can see the leaf pattern a little bit more. I'm seeing the leaves pretty clearly in person, but the reflectivity here is difficult. Okay, I think I'm going to do... This is a tough call. I think I'm going to do the Moonshine Manny top coat because it's 5 free, even though it's quick dry. And that might wrinkle the foils less. I don't know, we'll find out. I'm being pretty generous with my top coat. And then I am going around the edges with my little cuticle. This is actually not a cuticle anything. I use it. I call it my cuticle scoop. But it's actually just a nail file that I don't use because it's made of metal and I don't want to be using metal to file my nails. But the pointy tip is perfect for going around and scooping excess polish out of my cuticle. Okay, so there we have with top coat and prior to top coat. I think the top coat makes it stand out even slightly more. So, cool. And I don't mind the slightly brushed metal look that it gives it. I think that's fine. I am wrapping the tip with the top coat. Old habits die hard. And I can just go under like this. And since top coat's clear, it's not going to like stain my skin like the dark blue would if I had tried to do that with the blue. And I got enough staining off of the blue on my skin without wrapping the tip, so whatever. You can see some of the wrinkles disrupt the metallic, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay. I just brushed against this nail, but it was already dry enough that it didn't ruin anything. There, with the top coat, actually, you can see the design a lot better. It's got little leafies. Let's do the sand. There's a fuzz there. Whoops. I did not mean to do that. Apparently I pushed a little too hard when I was capping the tip there, and I pushed some of the blue onto top of one of the gold areas. I didn't float the brush well enough. This one has a wrinkle right there. Do you see it? Through that leaf. The new duo that just came out from Moonshine Manny, the Facebook exclusive duo, looks so pretty. It's based on romance movies, based on the titles, I think. One of them was like a sort of a really soft, sort of a minty green with gold flake, and one of them was like a dusty blush sort of a color with gold flake. I ordered them. I'm excited for them. Um, 2 more nails. We're gonna go in with a little bit of acetone after we finish the top coat, just to kind of make sure that we got the edges really well cleaned up. Uh-oh. We lost a little bit of blue there again. That would drive me nuts if I left that there, so I am going to go back over that with top coat in just a second. Okay. Okay, let's go around with some more acetone. Especially here on the tips. Really make sure that we don't have so much top coat living on our skin. I'm just going to go around really quickly on the edges here to break any top coat connection, and then any of the stuff that's on my skin will wash off when I wash my hands if I scrub them with a nail brush. But I want to prevent that from lifting the polish that's on my nail by making sure that I'm disconnecting the polish that's on my skin from the polish that's on my nail. I'm just going around like this really quickly. Okay, second hand. I'm also making sure that my curvatures are the way that I want them, particularly on my thumbs. This thumb is a lot less curved than my left thumb at the cuticle edge, so sometimes I will curve the corners of this thumb up, and I will flatten out the curve of that thumb if I need to, which I actually will do in just a second because I didn't when I was over there. Oh, I didn't do the Q-tip on this hand. There we go. That's better. Let's do the Q-tip over here, and then we'll do the other sides. I always feel like I have zombie hands after I clean up a dark polish before I wash my hands. Because I've got all this grayish vibe going on the skin. My hands aren't super pigmented anyway, so it ends up looking kind of silly. Okay, all the way around. And on that side. And on that side. And on that side. Okay. I don't think that there's anybody on that I want to host. But I'll look real quick and see if there is. If there isn't, I'm probably just going to host Bob Ross. Because it's the weekend and he's going. Let's see what we have as options. Over here. There's my hand in the meanwhile. Let's put it in frame actually, why don't we? It looks like the only wow, it's taking forever to load. Come on, internet, do the thing. It just doesn't want to show anybody. So I'm gonna just cut stream and it will automatically host, I guess. Oh no, Colette's on, playing Hollow Knight again. I'm gonna host her. Alright. Here we go.